initiate release sequencer. On my mark. 5.
We're on express elevator to hell. Going down.
2. 1. Mark.
Hello everyone, my name is Mark, aka Derringer. Today is Sunday, July 19th, and you are listening to episode 270 of the Instant Action Podcast, your weekly source for Planetside news and information. As always, I'm brought to you by great listeners like you via the Support the Show tab on instantactionpodcast.com. So what's been going on with me this past week? Well, just like all of you, I'm sure, I've been participating in the Summer Fun update. I've been pulling a lot of maxes. I've been using a lot of squirt guns, soldier soakers, very poorly, throwing water balloon grenades, you know, the whole 9 yards. We'll talk about that when we actually dive into it. But other than that, not a heck of a lot going on with me this week. Started playing a little soccer again. Again, that's on the personal side. Now that seems that we can kind of do outdoor sports activities without having to wear masks. So I'm trying to get on that bandwagon again so I can lose the coronavirus weight that I gained by living in quarantine forever. But other than that, not a heck of a lot going on. So what's actually in store for this week's show? Well, first I want to talk about the PS4 game update, which looks like it could be on track for a release soon, at least if Andy's tweets have anything to say. Then I'm going to move on to an actually known release, which was that July 16th PC update, which brought us the summer fun events that I've been participating in. After that, I want to talk about the newest implant to join the scene as part of that summer fun, and then finish this week by talking about the photo that was teased by Alan on Twitter. So strap in as we hot drop into another episode of the Instant Action Podcast. So first up this week, PlayStation 4. It's been a long time since we last got an update on the PS4. I mean, seriously, I had to go back into my archives here and find out when the last time there was actually a update for the PS4. And I mean, believe it or not, the last game update was December 18th, 2019. So we've gone half a year at this point without the PS4 getting an update for Planetside 2, which I'm not going to lie, that's so horrible. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say about that. It's just, I mean, I know they got a hot fix after that and had a maintenance after that, but they haven't had a real game update on that side since that time. And it looks like all that is about to change, because this past week, on Friday actually, Andy tweeted a tweet that just said stay on target, and it had a picture that says version PS4 July update, and it says a release date of July 22nd, 2020. They've been working on 53 issues in that version. 52 of them are complete, and one final issue is still in progress. So what does that basically mean? It sounds like on July 22nd, which is Wednesday of this coming week, that we could potentially see perhaps an update for PlayStation 4 for Planetside 2. It definitely says July update, so I'm really hopeful that this means we're getting something in July. Yeah, granted, we have 2 weeks left in the month. And if this is really a July 22nd date, I imagine that's when they would actually deploy it to Sony and then have it pushed out from there. So maybe that means it's going to be something that we see the week after. But even so, the fact that we're even talking about a July update for PlayStation 4 means a lot of shit is going to be hitting PlayStation 4. That's saying if everything that they've done in the past 7 months is definitely coming to the PS4. I mean, if I'm just looking at what's come out on the PC side since the December 17th game update, I mean, they had the Empire Strength update back in January where they made a bunch of infantry changes, NSO changes, things like that. And then they also had the big escalation update in March. And I mean, obviously with escalation, we're talking about Bastion fleet carriers. We're talking about different other resources within the game itself. We're talking about Sanctuary. We're talking about outfit wars. All kinds of stuff like that came in that huge update, which has been on the PC side forever. And then, I mean, we had another update in March with some other changes to Desolation and things like that. In April, we had the tactical improvement updates where we got the tactical slot, with things like caltrops and the hard light canopies and things like that. We also had the Colossus update about a month ago, and then obviously with the summer stuff coming out today. And then not to even mention that still PlayStation 4 doesn't have construction at this point. And we're still kind of in the dark whether they're going to get construction or not with this game update. But even so, if the folks on PlayStation 4 are able to get 6 or 7 months worth of game updates all dropped on them at once, I think it could be a nice big resurgence of players coming back to PlayStation 4 and playing Planetside 2. I mean, obviously, on the PC side of the game, we saw a huge resurgence just when that Empire Strength update came out. Because, again, don't forget, Outfit Wars was huge in that game update. And I think Outfit Wars on PlayStation 4 would really be something that would drive a lot of chatter within that community and the PlayStation 4 community as a whole, and potentially get a lot of people playing on that platform itself. Now, who's to say that even they are getting Outfit Wars and stuff like that, but I think that could really be a huge update for PlayStation 4. So again, we're just going to have to play the wait and see game, but if they're shooting for that July 22nd release date, that's right around the corner, and I think for the most part, PlayStation 4 folks probably have something to get excited about. So let's see what next week actually has in store. So besides the PS4, there was also a PC game update that happened last week, and it's the Summer Fun update. So they brought back the Summer Fun with an updated directive line, and that's going to be running on the PC side until August 16th, so an entire month. So don't think that you need to be the person who grinds out the entire directive line in one day, like I saw a bunch of people have already done. I mean, I really only played 2 nights this week. I played Friday, Saturday night, and without even really trying, I'm through at least the second tier of the directives. So I think we have plenty of time to actually work on these directives. But more importantly, the Soldier Soaker and the water balloons are both back in the game, and those are actually needed for the directive itself. Don't forget the Soldier Soaker. It is the pistol. You need to equip the pistol, and that it has a limited amount of ammo and cannot be reloaded. You actually just need to go to a terminal and re-equip everything in order to reload your Soldier Soaker. You cannot reload it from an ammo pack. Obviously, water balloons can be used to throw at people to put out fires on them from incendiary ammo. The Soldier Soaker can as well, obviously. And like I said, there is that entire new directive line. They're the same ones as last year, as far as I recall. So the first one's Beat the Heat, and you need to kill people with a summer holiday weapon, whether it's the Soldier Soaker or the water balloon. Beachhead, you need to kill enemy vehicles while in a vehicle yourself. And I can certainly say that I've seen a ton of vehicles out there in the field people working towards that beachhead one. Next is the tour guide. While piloting a vehicle, earn progress when your passengers kill enemies. So certainly getting gunners in your vehicles is huge for that. Next, the summer support. You earn summer support ribbons by resupplying or repairing vehicles while you are in a vehicle. So again, right there's 3 big things requiring vehicles for this directive. Next is crashing waves. That's earning kills as a max unit or against max units. This is going to be the main reason that you're seeing so many maxes in game right now, because clearly with a max, that's an easy one to do. And then finally, the King of the Castle directive, where you earn experience by taking and defending control points. So again, there's your 6 various directives. There are, 4 tiers for those directives themselves. The first tier, you earn 100 certs. The second tier, you earn 100 ISO4 and 1 basic implant pack. Like I said, that's the one I ticked off last night with only 2 nights of play for 2 hours. So I've played a total of 4 hours without really trying and gotten through the second tier easily. The third tier, you earn 500 A7 and also the Art-esque weapon camo, which is kind of an interesting little looking camo, very artsy. But then finally, the final tier is the Surfer title, and they say that that's returning from last year in case you missed it. But more importantly, a brand new implant called the Firestorm Implant, which gives a increased rate of fire after killing an enemy. And I'll talk a bit more about this implant in the next topic on today's show. So there's your entire summer stuff that's going on. But there were some other changes this week as well. First, to Empire Strength. The biggest change is that they removed the ability for the Bastion to generate Empire Strength when it's over a contested enemy territory. They said that players don't really need motivation to bring Bastions into combat areas. So what they hope is that this will also address an issue where the power projection meter could get stuck when a continent would reopen. And to bridge that gap, they're adding some more strategic targets. They've added 3 bases on each continent that will contribute additional Empire score. So let's go through those continents one at a time. First, on Indar, Lowland Trading Post, Burgess Overlook, and Sunken Relay Station are now worth 10 Empire Strength each, and the Crown is now down to 20 Empire Strength from 25. So for those familiar with the map will realize that Lowland Trading Post, Burgess Overlook, and Sunken Relay Station are all vehicle capture points only. So that's worth noting. Next on Amrish, Cobalt Geological Outpost, Solus Nature Annex, and Moss Ravine are all now worth 10 Empire Strength, and they dropped the Ascent just like the Crown. It is now worth 20, down from 25. Moving on to Esamir, Tap Way Station, Untapped Reservoir, and BL4 Recovery Point are all now worth 10 Empire Strength. Again, 3 vehicle capture points. Moving on to Hassan, Iron Quay, SRP Hydroponics Inc., and Vex Biologics are all now worth 10 Empire Strength. So there's all your various Empire Strength changes to the 4 continents themselves. Next, and finally, there were some other miscellaneous changes, fixes, and addition. They optimize some performance and bandwidth usage of war assets in the Bastion Fleet Carrier. They fix the TR Prowler's Rampart projector defense slot, so it now correctly provides the intended armor bonus when rank is increased. Previously, it had been bugged at 10% for all ranks. The NC Reaver's Friar suppression cooldown now correctly matched the tooltips. Again, those were showing old tooltips. The NC Sky Shield will once again damage enemy vehicles that pass through it. And finally, any Halloween weapons, such as the Slasher Knife as an example, will no longer earn Hallow ribbons outside of the Halloween event. I wish I knew that was going on. I would have worked on some of those ribbons. So there is your entire game update. However, at the end of the update notes, Rel did add a moving forward comment, and he did state that they are still marching towards their upcoming missions campaign release, which many people have noticed in-game teasers for already, also out of game. And he says they all enjoy watching us have excitement over them and speculation. And they've seen a lot of people guessing on what might be coming, where some people are not even close and other people have actually gotten exactly what is coming in the game update. So they're very much enjoying watching people react to things like that. And he did say that when the next live stream happened and there is no date to announce, they're going to give an idea of what's going to be in the next update a bit more. So until then, we just kind of got to wait until the next live stream. So that certainly makes me think, at least by reading into between the lines here, that we're not getting anything else for July for Planetside 2 on the PC side of the game. We're looking at August at least for the missions and campaign release, because with only 2 weeks left and no date to announce for a live stream, I can't imagine we're going to be seeing anything in July. So my hope really is that they drop that huge PS4 game update on everybody, and then second week of August, it's time to start talking about the mission and campaign release, and maybe we'll see something coming then. But with that, let's move on off that update and talk a bit more about that Firestorm implant. So, like I said, Firestorm implant, there's a lot of back and forth about it. So let's first talk about what the Firestorm implant is. Don't forget that you do need to finish the top tier of the new summer directive in order to unlock it. So there's definitely a bit of work to unlocking the Firestorm implant. Alternatively, you can also craft this implant by spending 99,999 ISO 4. Now, I don't know how many people are sitting on, 100,000 ISO 4 at this point, but it certainly is an option that if you're sitting on a ton of ISO 4 that you can craft this without actually completing the directive line. But again, what is the Firestorm implant? So Firestorm rank 1, when you're killing an enemy, it increases your rate of fire by 8% on the currently equipped weapon for 1.5 seconds. And the theme across this is that it's an 8% rate of fire increase across all ranks of the implant itself. But the amount of time that it's active increases every time you increase the rank. So, for example, rank 2, it lasts for 1.75 seconds. At rank 3, 2.25 seconds. At rank 4, it lasts for 3 seconds. And then if you bump this thing all the way to rank 5, it increases your rate of fire by 8% on the current weapon for 3 seconds. However, if you get that kill via a headshot, it's going to increase the duration to 5 seconds. So at first blush, it feels really powerful in the hands of a skilled player. I think a regular player is not going to get a ton of use out of an implant like this, but I think someone who can easily headshot player after player after player, that this could actually become a very decent weapon for a lot of people, especially people who might be playing VS or NC over TR. Now, don't get me wrong. It will benefit TR by making their guns fire even faster than they currently do. But I think that it's going to make a lot of the NC's hard-hitting weapons fire a lot faster, because obviously the NC trait is slow firing, hard hitting weapons. But if you give them the ability to fire 8% faster, they're going to be a little faster of a weapon, but still doing that high damage. And potentially putting two people on the same skill level, one of them using this implant, the other one not using it, it's going to reduce the person using their time to kill just a little bit. Now, again, first blush, 8% doesn't feel hugely overpowered, but it definitely feels that this could be a balancing nightmare, and it could be something that might get nerfed. But then it also could be, what everybody said about Minor Cloak, that this could just be, 2020's Minor Cloak gripe that everybody had, because everybody was always up in arms about Minor Cloak, and now barely anybody uses Minor Cloak within the game itself. Now, the good news is that people have already been dissecting this increase to see how it really affects timed kills for various weapons within the game itself. There's actually a very good Reddit post out there by Chaos Worm, who actually broke down what the time to kill bonus in seconds are for all the various speeds of weapons in the game itself. So we've got basically 4 types of damage class weapons, 125 at the low end, all the way up to 200 at the high end. And all that it really does is increase the time to kill from those hard-hitting weapons, the 200, to it subtracts 0.044 seconds from the time to kill of a weapon like the Gauss Saw. So 0.044 seconds. That is certainly not a lot of time. So I really think that it's not much of a upgrade or anything like that. But one thing I will say is that it does feel like it's going to make a gap between good players and bad players bigger than it currently is. But the question really remains, how many players are actually going to, work towards this implant and then use this implant consistently or constantly within the game itself. So there's your basic talk about this implant. Ultimately, before you really get up in arms over this implant, it's a very hard to take advantage of implant. You'd have to really be min-maxing everything that you're doing to really take advantage of it. So I wouldn't complain that it's too game-breaking at this point, but who's to say any changes are going to be made to it in the future? We'll just have to wait and see. But with that, let's move on to our last topic this week. So finally this week, I just want to talk about an image that was shared by Alan Lapidus on Twitter. He does a lot of art within the game itself. So he shared on Twitter a picture of a giant space something. I don't know what the hell it is, but what it looks like. Well, before I say what it looks like, let's talk about the tweet itself. He wrote, "Look what arrived on the last Loadstar. It still has that quote-unquote new NS Tech smell just in time for the next update." And then it also has it's a picture of what looks like a giant something. I mean, we only see the underside of it. It's got hydraulics. It clearly looks like it can swivel around. It looks like it can also, move, pivot one way or the next. It kind of looks like something that can launch another vehicle into the air. The picture itself has a galaxy for scale next to this. This thing is massive. So a lot of people are questioning what exactly this thing is. And obviously no one knows exactly for sure, but it's definitely a cool picture. But what I liked more about this than anything else is that he mentioned the Lodestar. Now, there hasn't been a lot of talk about the Lodestar in Planetside 2. For those that aren't aware, in Planetside 1, there was a flying vehicle called the Lodestar, which you could load another vehicle into, primarily, a main battle tank or something like that, and ferry it across the battlefield and drop it somewhere else. Now, the original Galaxy in Planetside 1, you could also put a light vehicle into it and take it somewhere. But this was a way to transport heavy vehicles around the map. And part of me wants Lodestars in Planetside too, and I'm really hoping that this image might be indicative of potentially a Lodestar coming to the game, especially because he mentioned Lodestar in the game. I think not having a Lodestar in the game is something that has always been missed, and would be something I would actually really like to see come to the game itself. Now, granted, this is just a picture of something that we have no idea what it is, and now I'm off on a different tangent speculating about the Lodestar. But that's the kind of excitement that it seems to be generating for this next game update that's coming. And like Rel mentioned in his note at the end of the PC game update, that there's a lot of excitement about the game right now and a lot of speculation about what might be coming, because they've been releasing a lot of cryptic information. And don't forget, a couple weeks ago, I did a whole show on what exactly is happening over Esamir and things like that. So I think they're doing an excellent job teasing what might be coming down the pipeline without actually telling us what's actually coming down the pipeline. So I'm definitely curious to see where everything's going, and pictures like this just pique my interest and keep me coming back for more. But let's wrap up this week's show and move on to housekeeping.
Hello? Housekeeping. Hello? Fuck. Sorry, bro.
All right, that's going to be it for this week's show. As always, how can you get in touch with me or the show itself? Well, first, you can visit my website, which is www.instantactionpodcast.com. You can also email me at instantactionshow@gmail.com, and you can follow me on Twitter at instantactpodcast. But as always, in closing, if you've enjoyed the show, please leave me a review on your podcast listening avenue of choice, whether it's iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, or anywhere else. Also, feel free to tell your friends and outfit mates about the show. But finally, thanks for listening, and keep spamming that Join Combat, formerly known as Instant Action button. Derringer out.